Assalamu alaikum. Hopefully, you're doing fine. In today's session, I'm going to talk about the direct method of teaching English. This is a method which goes in contrast to grammar translation method. And as you're familiar, grammar translation method focuses more on the learning by translation, the learning by reading only, and the focus on accuracy. The direct method, on the other hand, has one very basic rule: no translation is allowed. Meaning is to be conveyed directly in the target language through the use of demonstration and visual aid. So here translation is not at all allowed, rather the target language is used. For example, English would be learned through English only. Translation, tenses, or other use of translation skills, word for word or sense for sense, cannot help in learning language through the use of this particular method. So, this is an approach that was developed initially as a reaction to grammar translation approach in an attempt to integrate more use of the target language in instruction. Lessons begin with a dialogue using a modern conversational style in the target language. Material is first presented orally with actions and pictures. The mother tongue is never used. So, this is important. The mother tongue is never used. There is no translation at all. The preferred type of exercise is a series of questions in the target language based on dialogue or an anecdotal narrative. So, stories are used, dialogues are used, more and more practice of target language is done within the classroom, so students get the chance to speak, to express themselves, and to promote the language which they want to learn, the language that is the target language. And the questions over here in this particular type are answered in the target language. Grammar is taught inductively. Rules are generalized from practice, and experience with the target language is experienced and done. So here inductive method of inquiry is used, whereas in grammar translation method deductive method was used, where rules, principles, and regulations were more of practice than the actual use of the language. So, verbs are used first and systematically conjugated much later after some oral masters of the target language. Advanced students read literature for comprehension and pleasure. So here more of extensive reading is focused than intensive reading. Extensive reading is the reading that is done for the sake of pleasure, for the sake of wider understanding, whereas intensive reading is the reading that you do for the sake of examination, for the sake of test, and for the sake of evaluation. So we believe, and this method believes, that we learn only through extensive reading, we learn only through practice, we learn a language through exposure, not by learning a few rules and regulations. So literary texts are not analyzed grammatically, so grammar comes later. First, fluency over here is focused. The culture associated with the target language is also taught inductively. So here we learn about the culture, we learn about the society, we learn about the values and norms of the target language, and culture is considered as an important aspect of learning the language, because language is a part of the culture, language is associated with the culture, so you have to correlate your ideas and ideology with the culture as well. So here are some advantages of this particular method. It is a natural method, it gives fluency of speech, it improves pronunciation, it also adds written work as well. and it facilitates the study of literature. It makes use of audio visual aids in our daily routine. There are some disadvantages as well. It is an incomplete method. It requires efficient teachers. It requires expert teachers who are expert in the language, who can speak fluently, who know the language, who know the culture, who are expert, who have good classroom control, who are expert in their subject area and who have command in that particular target language, and who could speak and who could give more of examples than to translate merely and to talk about a few tenses and parts of speech. It requires linguistic minded students as well. Students are important, teachers are important, both are related to the language learning process, and both help each other in improving the learning environment. Material facilities are not available, so this is the problem. We don't have all the facilities, we don't have audio visual aids, we don't have multimedia, and we don't have the available literature to promote this type of learning environment. The classes are overcrowded. This is a problem, especially in the government sector, when the class is more of 80 plus students or 100 plus students. Then this type of the method is practically not possible to be utilized in those circumstances. It is difficult for explanation, because for explanation you need a lot of energy, you need much patience, and you need much expertise to explain the concept. And teachers normally do, they easily translate the language and they convey the concept and move forward. So explanation requires a lot of effort, energy, and a lot of time as well. So here are some techniques. Reading aloud is practice over here, so that you could be able to work on your pronunciation as well. Question and answer exercises are utilized over here in this particular method. Getting students to self correct, peer correction is also encouraged over here. Conversational practices are utilized in this method. Fill in the blanks for comprehension can be utilized. Dictation may also be utilized for the improvement of the listening as well as speaking skills. Map drawing could also be used for correlating the concept and connotating the ideas. And then paragraph writing is also used as a kind of technique to promote learning process and to see how students are able to enjoy and how students are able to learn a lot. So here this particular method helps us in learning a language way better than the grammar translation method. And as you know, that grammar translation method was the method that focused on the written language only, that lacked cultural context, that promoted memorization and word to word translation, where lack of communication was easily observable, and focus on accuracy or fluency, and rigid learning styles were promoted, and silent reading was neglected, and the text uh, and tests don't assess all the skills. So over here we can see that how direct method promotes language learning comparatively to a greater level, to a greater extent, as compared to the grammar translation method. Direct method is practiced and promoted more in English language classes. So if you have any question related to these two methods, you can reach me out. So what I do as a teacher, I practice this direct method, because what I believe that grammar translation method is insufficient method, and that has not helped our students to learn and to practice the language skills and to promote phonics and to promote phonetics and phonology, morphology, and other related subjects. So stay tuned, stay happy, and stay